Hey guys, Yendor here. Welcome to Mentalism Monday, episode 2. If you missed last week, check it out. You guys, you still have till this Thursday to upload your video for contest of the week for last week's videos. So go back, check them out. I'll put links. Check those videos out. You're gonna love them. Great effects. Get those videos in so you can be video of the week. I really want to keep this stuff coming on, so get the videos in and give me some comments, let me know what's going on. Alright guys, so this week we're going to learn a really awesome mentalism effect. Again, things have been busy, I haven't had time to film this with an actual person, so I'm just going to perform it on you guys. I'm going to try to read your minds right over the internet right here, and this is cell phone magic. This week I'm going to be doing magic with a cell phone. So the mentalism effect will be using a cell phone, and the card trick for Wednesday will also be using a cell phone. So what I normally do is I have a list in my phone of a bunch of celebrities, okay? And what I want you guys to do is, let's see, there's nobody here. Let's just go with even. We'll do even. So I have a list here of 10 different celebrity names. If you guys can see it. Don't know if you guys can see that too well. I can't really see it too well because of the camera. But I have a list of 10 different celebrity names. Okay. Now what I do is I'll just have the person think of an even number. They get an even number in mind, and then I have them look at that number and memorize the celebrity that's at that number. So if you guys can look at that number, get the celebrity, have it about now. And I want you to just concentrate on that celebrity. I'll usually show the list to other people, and say, hey, there are different names here, right? And they'll agree. Then what I do is the phone can be set down now. It's not needed. They've picked a name from a list, and usually what I'll do is I'll go around the audience before the show, and I'll get 10 names of celebrities from people in the audience, and that is where I'll make up my list from. So I get the names and I have them concentrate on who they're thinking of. So I want you guys at home to concentrate on the celebrity, and that was at the number you chose. Then you concentrate, you just kind of see the guy. It's easier if you picture the celebrity, just almost as if he's standing right in front of you, and you can see his body, you can see the shape of him right there. Okay, this celebrity was definitely more known for television, not as much known for movies. He was more known for television. That makes sense. Also, this celebrity would be a bigger person. This isn't like skinny, little, Tom Cruise type guy, right? He's a bigger guy. Keep getting like a bar keeps coming on my face, bar for some reason. I'm gonna go on this. The bar kind of gives it away, so I'm gonna go with I'm just gonna go with this. I hope I'm right. John Goodman. Was it John Goodman? He played on Roseanne Barr. I'm gonna go with John Goodman. I hope I was right, guys. Let me know if I got it right. Alright, so now let's go into the explanation for that. If you can't see what's on my phone, I really apologize. It's just like, I don't know if it's my webcam or what, but or the phone itself is too bright. I'm not sure. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to get, and I have two lists in my phone. I'm going to show you here now. If you guys can see, I have two lists. Whoops. Back me up. Okay. So I'm just an InkPad app. It's an app where you can just write down notes. And I have two lists. One that says Celebrity 2 and Celebrity 1. Okay. Celebrity 2 is this. Okay, so I click on it. And back up. And you have a list here, literally 10 different names. You can pause the video right now and see that there's 10 different names written here, celebrities. Just the first 10 celebrities that came to my head. You can do, and I do this for shows, I will actually go around the audience and ask for 10 different celebrity names, and I'll just choose the one I want to force. And I usually use this as a gag at the beginning, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But I have 10 different names, literally 10 different celebrity names, and then I skip a few spaces, and if you scroll up, there's a second list that looks exactly the same as the first list. The only difference is all of the even numbers are the exact same name, and they're all John Goodman. So in this case, if they're going to think of an even number, and I'll show you how to get to that in a moment, but if they're going to think of an even number, you give them this list, and then whatever even number they look at, they're going to see John Goodman. Now what's nice is the thing that makes this work and they don't notice that they're seeing John Goodman on all of the names is because every other name is a different name. So when they look at like number 2, you're seeing Jeff Goldblum and Tom Cruise, and then John Goodman. So you're not going to see another John Goodman. It's going to look like they're all different. At a quick glance at the number, John Goodman, okay, good. And it's only a couple seconds. You don't sit there and let them burn this into their mind. You show it to them real quick. Say, you got the number? Yeah. Okay, look at it. Look at that number. You got it? Yeah. And that's about all the time you need. Let me turn it back on. So that's all the time you need for them to get it. Just, you got the number in mind? Okay, look at that number. You got it? Good. And then I scroll back down. Okay. So then my thumb just scrolls down. And then I show somebody else the list, because I don't want them to look at their number again and see that there's a different name there now, right? So I show somebody else the list. I say, you can see there's 10 different names, right? You guys see 10 different names? Yeah? And then I just lock the phone and set it down. It's out of sight, out of mind now. People confirmed that there's 10 different names, while the person also seeing a name and chose it. So now there's confirmation that they are all different names. In reality, they're not, right? You also have another list, okay, list number 1, I call it celebrity list 1, and that list, on the second list, it's the same thing, 10, I just copy and paste the first list of all 10 names. Then all of the even numbers are all of the odd numbers in list number 1 are, because 1's an odd number, 2's an even number, so I say 1 for the odd, 2 for even, and now with this list 1, all of the odd names are the same, okay? Then what I do from there is I need to get them to choose odd or even. The way I do it is I make it seem like I'm programming their mind. Okay, so when someone's here, okay, what you're going to do is basically this. You're just going to say, I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and just by the way you answer those questions is how I'm going to program your mind. And this might sound weird, but check this out, okay? And then I go into it. I ask them, if I was going to ask you to think of a number, would you think of an odd number or an even number? And I try to force them, okay? This is a great time to practice psychological forcing, okay? I say, would you think of an odd number or an even number? And notice how I did that. I said odd, like it's not that nice of a thing. And then even, like, even? Yeah, like that sounds good. So I say, would you choose an odd number or an even number? And make it seem like it's a better thing, right? It's a good thing, even number. Or you can even do that for odd, you know, would you choose an even number or an odd number? And I mean, that's a little over exaggerated, but that's basically what you're going to do. And I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, people are going to choose the one you forced, and it's just crazy. But you don't have to force it on them in this case. And so you can practice the forcing, okay? Now, again, like I said, it's, would you choose an odd number or an even number? Now, judging by the way they answer that is what list you're going to go into. So let's say they said even, and I say, okay, now if you choose a color, red or black, which color would you choose? Whatever one, it doesn't matter. You can try to force the black. So if I asked you to choose a color, would you like a color between red or black? Which one would you choose? And notice how I'm trying to force black. They go with black, let's say. And I said, okay, out of the suits, you have spades and clubs. Which one would you go with, spades or clubs? Most of the time they'll go with clubs because you forced clubs on them, right? Doesn't matter what they go with in any of these. You're just trying to practice your forcing and see if it works, right? So let's say they go with clubs. It doesn't matter. All you need is that first answer of odd or even. Once they pick it, let's say, again, in this case, they said even. So then you say, okay, you said even, correct? So what I'm going to do is I have a list in my phone. And I won't even ask them about even. I'll just remember it in my head, and I'll open up the even list. And I'll say, in my phone, I have a list of 10 different celebrity names. And I won't show it to the person that I'm going to do this to. I'll say, and you can see there's a list of names, right? And I'll hold the list right in front of their face, like this, with my thumb right here, ready to scroll. And they're looking right at it, even when I scroll down the next list, because they're not, it's not in their mind of like he's doing something. It's just in their mind that I just seen a list of 10 names, right? And you say, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you think of a number. You said even, right? And they go, yeah. You say, think of an even number from 1 to 10. Get that number in mind. Make sure it's an even number. And I just scrolled up. I mean that quick. I just said, think of an even number. Get that in your mind. Good. And concentrate on that number. Okay, you're going to look at that number and memorize the celebrity at that number. Does that make sense? They say yeah, and you show them a list. Any even number is going to say John Goodman or whoever you want to force, whatever celebrity's name you would like to force on that. Boom, it's there. It's done. That easy. Now, I want to go into another trick that you can use this force for instead of just trying to, okay, just think of the person. Actually, it's better, do you know who this celebrity is? Usually when I do this, I'll say, you know who the celebrity is, correct? Yeah? Okay, concentrate on what the person looks like. It's going to make it easier. The visuals make it easier to pull up. And then I'll just start to describe the person slowly and build more and more and more. And maybe we'll give some abstract thing about the person, like with John Goodman, this guy's more known for like TV, not movies, right? Does that make sense? And I was like, yeah. And if they really do know the person, if they don't, it makes it harder to kind of make it look like you're reading their mind, you know? You just have to kind of think of the letters and go that way. It's acting, basically. Act like you're playing the role of a mentalist. You're playing the role of a mind reader, right? So you need to pretend in your mind what you think it would look like if somebody was really reading someone's mind, right? And that's what you do. So you do that. You can do it that way, or you can do what's known as the baby picture trick. Okay, the celebrity baby picture. Now the way I do it is I do a stick man. I call it the celebrity stick man. What I do is, in this case, I'm going to be forcing on them John Goodman, right? So if I know what celebrity, maybe I'll change it to Tom Cruise or, someone more well-known, that most people would know more than John Goodman. I would change it to whoever we're going to do for this show. And what I do is I get a piece of paper and I draw a stick figure on the paper, 2 eyes and a mouth, and then on the back of the paper I write the name. Now, you want to get a piece of paper that's not see-through, and you may want to not do it with a marker, maybe with a pen, okay, or a pencil, but you do want it to be able to be seen from a distance. So another thing you could do is have the paper folded in half and have a stick figure on the front, and when you open it up, the celebrity name is on there, so they don't see the celebrity name through the paper, and you can do it with a marker. It's up to you, just so they don't see the name. And that goes into a prediction envelope, which is sealed up. Now at the beginning of the show, you hand them the envelope and you say that you're going to base your whole show on this first prediction. If it's wrong, you do the whole show for free, and you'll never do mentalism ever again. You'll never do any kind of magic. You'll never do a show ever again. And it makes it look really amazing. Like, oh my god, he's basing his whole show off of this first mind reading stunt. Like, this is crazy. And you hand the envelope to a member of the audience and say, hold this, make sure no one switches it out. Can I get someone from the audience? You, sir. And a guy comes up and you do the phone stuff with it. Now you forced John Goodman. You say, concentrate on that celebrity right now. You have one celebrity in mind. Inside that envelope, I'm not the best artist, but I drew a portrait of a celebrity. I'm going to remove it out right now. And as you pull it out, you say, for the first time, who was that celebrity? And you turn the paper around and they say, John Goodman. You go, this is so crazy because I drew a perfect portrait of John Goodman. And you turn around and it's a stick figure. And everyone laughs and goes, yeah, right, it could have been any celebrity on that list. And you would just say, look, it looks just like him. And then I say, well, I knew you guys weren't going to believe me that this was John Goodman. And I mean, yeah, he looks like he wanted to die. But no, it's John Goodman. And to prove it, I actually wrote his name on the inside, and I open up the card, and it says John Goodman on the inside because I forced the name, right? So that's just one way you can do that. You can also do pre-show, but we're not going to get into that in this video. That's just something you can do to force a name of a celebrity on someone, or a name of anybody. Really, you can just do all first names and just force a first name on someone. You know, go through the audience and like say, hey, what's your first name? What's your first name? And get 10 first names down and act like you're typing in 10 first names. And really, you just have a list of 10 first names, right? And then the second one is, you know, all the different ones, right? Where they're every odd or every even is the same, right? You already have this list up, or you can do it before the show. You can do first names, you can do celebrity names, you can do objects. You can do 10 different objects and do it that way as well. There's just so much more ways you can do it, and this is just the beginning to it, and there's so many things because you're able to force really anything using this method, and it's so simple, and it packs in your cell phone. I mean, this is perfect for street magic and walk around restaurant stuff because you always have your cell phone on you. Everyone carries a cell phone. You can walk up to someone and just take out your cell phone and be like, hey, I got this app, and everyone knows the app, right? Notepad app, pull it up. I drew a little list, you know, oh, here's my grocery list, here's this, and you can show them all your list, right? Groceries, this, and then show them the list and say, oh, it's the celebrity names, and then go into the presentation. And it's a great effect. Practice it. It's not hard to do, guys. Practice it. Put a video, upload a video response, guys. I want to see your performances. That is a great mentalism effect using a cell phone. I call this method forcing a name. Okay, it's just a force for a name. It's not a fancy thing. It's just forcing a name or anything on someone using a cell phone.